Philly. Yo, I at least talked about them minimally last week. I wanted to save it for a special occasion. And boy, did they give us a lot of shit to talk about this week.
We lucked out.
Yeah, we really lucked out because I was, well, at least me, I was trying to not talk about them for like a couple weeks. But they couldn't help themselves. So, what day was it? Was it Monday? Or what? When they had the team meeting
Earlier this week. I can't tell you the exact day, but
earlier this week, Philly had a team meeting with the early season struggles, and it got leaked. And it was reported that Maxey called out Embiid, saying that he needs to be better as a leader. He needs to do a better job. He needs to be more on time. He's always late to everything, and he needs to set an example. And that meeting got leaked probably, I want to say not even like 30 minutes later. And what that tells me, and you know what's funny? After that shit got leaked, a couple days later, Embiid says, whoever leaked that is a piece of shit, and I want to find the snitch. But what that tells me, and shout out to OG Chilltown, he was saying that whoever leaked that shit feels the same way about Joel Embiid. And I agree. Because when that whole situation with Draymond and Jordan Poole happened and the video came out, I was like, that means somebody in that Warriors organization doesn't fuck with Draymond in there.
100%.
And they're like, he gets away whatever the fuck he wants. So yeah, this shit coming out that quick, they don't fuck with Joel Embiid. And what all this tells me, Joel Embiid's reaction, this is very, very real. Like, this wasn't, because some of the people try to like play it off like, oh, there was no meeting, nothing happened, and nah, this is 100% real, and this is the signs that I was seeing from the beginning, especially with Joel Embiid. Basically, what I want to say is, Joel Embiid is not a leader. He's not a winner. I feel like a lot of the times he kind of try. I've noticed this a lot within the last couple of years. Most importantly, the MVP season, he tries to play victim a lot. Yeah. Like he lacks all type of accountability. When he was trying to get that MVP, it was more so propaganda and promo instead of actual play. Like you and I talked about it. That was the year. That was Jokic's best season. Well, until this season. This season. That was Jokic's best season. And Embiid won that because he was crying about it. He was like, maybe they hate me, blah, blah, blah. What do I have to do? And then also that comment he made earlier this season, when he was like, I've given so much to the city and this is how they treat me. My brother, you haven't done shit for the city at all. You haven't made the ECF at all. No 61 season. You have an MVP that you cried for. None of that means shit. Like, this team hasn't reached the ECF since Iverson. Iverson has done more for this city, even though people say, oh, that he gets carried by that one finals run. But he did more in that year than you've done in your whole tenure in Philly. So this is like the big glare. And I know Vic was here and other people, they're like, yo, I feel like your hate for Embiid kind of clouds like how good of a player he is. I never say he's a garbage player. He's a great player, one of the best players I've seen with my two eyes. But like, it's getting to a point where it's really disgusting, and my hate has only grown ever since the playoff series. Just because, and there was a compilation on Twitter, like all the dirty plays he has. It's crazy, but It's concerning, and it's a reflection on the current Sixers team right now. It's taking no accountability, always playing the victim. He's talking about, oh, I need to find the snitch. Like, motherfucker, you not Franklin Saint. This ain't Snowfall. You not Ghost from Power. Like, focus on rehabbing and getting your ass back on the court, because that's what's more important. This season, you were talking shit in the offseason. You were talking shit at the podium before the season. Oh, I lost 25 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my career. Going forward, it's all about championships. I don't care about awards. It finally clicked, and you go into the season, oh yeah, I'm not playing back-to-backs. I'm not going to be ready for opening night. And then Maxey just stating to the public, like, yo, you don't show up on time. And then I'll let you tell the story in a little bit that you talked about the Grizzlies on the team bus, but you're always late. You wear your emotions on your sleeve. Like when shit is not going your way, you're throwing pouts and throwing fits. You need to get your fingers out of your fucking ass and start fucking playing for real. Like,
literally too with them free throws.
You really do. And I saw this motherfucker flopping on free throws. So I wasn't gonna come here with the energy on some, fuck you, like screaming at the camera, but this is for real. Like I was saying this back in 2023 when they lost to the Celtics to blow this shit up. People looked at me crazy, but that game was a real good sign because that motherfucker did not do shit in that game. He had 9 points? And then this past playoffs, you got cooked by Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks when he was playing without his fucking all-star teammate. Come on now. And people, you want to blame injuries, this, that. Nah, motherfucker. You played, and that was probably... I wasn't gonna say I'm one of the biggest Joel Embiid haters. It didn't start until this playoff series, but that was one of your better playoff series against us. So I'm not even gonna say you played bad because of the injuries. You played great, but this is just a fucking mess right now. And I saw a stat that I took a picture of. Well, obviously this was before the win last night. They won without you. So teams that start 2-12. What was it? I have it right here. So only 6 out of 92 teams have made the playoffs after starting 2-12.
Does it say who it is or no? I wish
it doesn't
they did.
say. I literally took this picture after, I forgot, this was Wednesday night. They had it on ESPN. I literally took a picture real quick just to remember. But yeah, now they're 3-12, but only 6 of 92 teams have made the playoffs after starting 2-12. Do you think they'll make it?
Absolutely not. I know the East is garbage right now. I know the Bucks have crawled out of that hole that they dug themselves into, won a decent amount of games straight. They're on a win streak. But I think playing, maybe. If they get to the playoffs, it's because they're a 10 or 9 seed and they win, they play in games.
Yeah.
But they're not even going to get to 7 seed type of playing or 8 seed.
Yeah. And only reason I'm keeping it kind of mild right now is because I always envision in my head, for me to really go crazy on the Sixers, I have to wait till they're officially dead in the water. Right now, it's still November. There's still a chance where you guys could possibly win some games, string on some wins, and you guys are like the 9th seed. Do I think that's going to happen? Not really. But I really rather wait till you guys are either not even in playoff contention at all, you guys get eliminated, to really pop my shit. And before I let Jordan talk, I just want to say something about Paul George. Yo. Paul George. And you know what's funny? You know what's the craziest foreshadowing about all this? I don't remember which episode it was exactly, but I said this a while ago. I was like, I brought it up. I was like, I was watching Paul George's podcast, and he was saying, oh yeah, I be watching other podcasts to kind of take from them so I could get better as a podcaster. And I don't remember what your exact response was, but I remember my response was, motherfucker, you should be in the gym working on your fucking game, not trying to get better on the podcast. Wait for you to fucking retire to do that. But now it's come full circle, and I'm not the only one that's noticed. It seems like you're spending more time on your podcast than you are on the actual fucking court, my nigga.
Yep.
I know you hyperextended your knee in the preseason, and then you did it again now, which is unfortunate. But this is what I was telling Sixers fans and people saying, oh, they're better than the Knicks now when they signed them. I'm like, no, the fuck they're not. Because now, and I feel like I'm reiterating myself again. I'm like, you got 2 motherfuckers that are always hurt, because now you have Paul George, who's going to be out. I mean, he's going to be reevaluated Monday, but we don't know how long he really going to be out for. You have Joel Embiid, who didn't play last night, who's not going to play Sunday. You have 2 motherfuckers that are always hurt, and 2 motherfuckers that fold in the fucking playoffs, bro. 2 of them. And damn, bro, I don't want to be petty, but there was a motherfucker on TikTok that kind of tried to tell me, and I kind of want to call him out right now, but it's going to take a while to find the clip.
I mean, I could talk while you find it, bro, honestly.
Talk for me real quick.
Yeah, so here's my thing. And then whenever you find it, do not, worry about interrupting me. I'm not going to lose my train of thought. So I'm going to talk about the Joel Embiid story first in Memphis. So Chris Vernon had reported that, when teams stay at a certain hotel in Memphis, usually, NBA teams, when they travel to cities, they more often than not use the same fucking hotel every single time. So the bus from that specific hotel to the FedEx Forum, there's two that leave. There's one that leaves at 5 o'clock, and there's one that leaves at 5:15, right? And most of the team obviously takes the early bus. They take the 5 o'clock bus. If anyone's late, unfortunately, they take the 5:15. It was reported Joel Embiid took the 5:55 bus to the FedEx Forum. The game was at 7 o'clock, Justin. You have two buses. All your teammates are riding in. They're leaving the hotel about an hour earlier than you. And you take this late-ass bus an hour and 5 minutes before the fucking game. By the time that you get to the arena, you have less than an hour to prepare for the game. That's ridiculous. And like you said, this is kind of what happens when you put a guy who has no accountability. And that's also what's going to segue into my Paul George shit. Two guys, two of the biggest crybabies in the league, two of the most sensitive guys in the league.
I found it.
Say the comment, whatever it was that he said before I really go in on Paul George.
All right, so this guy, his name is IC13, or IC13, which is 13 in Spanish, which tells me this guy's a Paul George fan.
Paul George fan.
Paul George's IG name is YG13. So he says, Paul George folds every year in the playoffs? And this was my clip, the one where I said, I have no faith in Philly. I'm sleeping with the AC on. So to IC13.
Can you reply to him right now and just write SMD? That would be kind of funny.
I mean, I could. With the J&J.
Yeah, you might as well.
Fuck.
I would, yeah.
I just did. So to IC13, yes, fuck you, nigga. This nigga, Paul George, does fold in the playoffs every year. And I know you want to talk about, oh, yeah, counting stats wise, he did this, he did that. I'm like, bro, he got packed up by rookie Donovan Mitchell. He got sent home by Damian Lillard. Yeah, you could say, oh, yeah, he averaged this and that. I'm
going to cut you off. Outscored by Patrick Beverley in Game 7 after blowing a 3-1 lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Outscored by Patrick Beverley, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it.
So, fuck you, nigga. Like, for real. Like, I don't want to hear about no Paul George shit. We keep talking about 2013, and it pisses me off at this point. It probably pisses you off a little bit more.
100%.
But there was a point in time where I kind of held out for Paul George a little bit. But now it's starting to really piss me off because that motherfucker does so much talking. Because what was it, the last podcast episode where he basically talked about it? And he was like, oh, we trying to figure out who the leak is. And he's basically giving out all the information and shit. He's more concerned with the fucking podcast than actually getting on the fucking court. Mm-hmm. And I was saying this in the summertime. You got two motherfuckers that are always hurt and two motherfuckers that fold in the playoffs. Paul George is the biggest example of folding in the playoffs. We've seen it so far in this season. Tobias Harris is playing better than that nigga right now.
That's part of my shit, bro.
He's playing better than him. Joel Embiid fucking sucks in the playoffs. I know people are like, oh, he does this in the playoffs, he does that. There's probably, if we looked at the top scorers right now in the league currently, how many guys do you think we could name that are like, oh yeah, they're better in the playoffs than Joel Embiid?
A lot, honestly.
Even
a Jaylen Brown is better than Embiid in the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown is better than Embiid in the playoffs.
And Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell,
I'm about to just
Steph, Bron, AD,
everybody,
Jokic,
bro.
Jamal Murray,
Everybody.
Brunson,
Devin Booker, Kyrie, like
Ant-Man, Ja.
All of these motherfuckers are better in the playoffs, bro.
Chris Middleton, not even trying to be funny. Chris Middleton, Giannis, Tatum. Jimmy Butler,
all of these
Bam
people,
sometimes.
All of these people are better than Joel Embiid in the playoffs. It's insane.
Luka, Kyrie, Shea.
It's insane. There's a big amount of people, and we keep talking about Joel Embiid in these top 5, sometimes even top 3 conversations. But that's
over.
You got motherfuckers that are in the 15 to 18 range that are better playoff performers than Joel Embiid. Donovan Mitchell has more fucking playoff moments than Joel Embiid. Ever.
Let me just jump in real quick.
I couldn't tell you a memorable Joel Embiid playoff performance. people like to bring up that 50 ball against the Knicks. I'm like, I really kind of discount that because you was doing all the whining, kicking Hartenstein in the nuts, pulling Mitchell Robinson's legs down, doing all this bullshit. And yeah, you actually should have got ejected from that fucking game. And it's ironic how that was your best game, a game that you shouldn't even have played the entirety of the game. And outside of that game, I couldn't tell you a memorable Joel Embiid playoff game.
I was just going to jump into, because you said Tobias Harris. This is part of my rant. So last year, a lot of Philly fans complained about Tobias Harris. They've complained about him the entire stint. This isn't me trying to lie and say Tobias Harris is really good. And this isn't me calling out like you with the Icy Tracy guy. But one of the comments on YouTube, right, when we posted a Paul George clip, this guy said, well, honestly, we don't really need Paul George to be an all-star. We just need him to be better than Tobias Harris. Which is a fair take. Like, again, I'm not calling him out. There's more so a call to PG. So Philly fans, like this specific guy, have lower expectations about Paul George, realistic expectations. Just be better than Tobias Harris. That's a fine expectation as your third best guy. Tobias Harris last year, 17 points. Paul George this year, under 15. Tobias Harris was shooting 48.7% from the field. Paul George is at 38. From three, 35% from three. Paul George, 27, bro. 27% from three. And then obviously we know Tobias Harris is a better rebounder. Because this one's a little bit outdated. This is when Paul George was all the way up to 16.7. And now it's all the way down to 14.9. Terrible, bro. Not we, but Philly fans just said, just be better than Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris sucks. He's trash in the playoffs. Paul George, you got to be a little bit better than him. He is worse right now. And he's only going to keep getting older. He already hurt his knee twice. This shit is getting ridiculous. And going back to what I was saying, this is what happens when you put two guys who have no accountability on the same team. Two guys who are victims all the time. Two guys who are always focused on the wrong shit instead of basketballs. Two guys who are losers and don't have a winning mentality. Two guys who get injured constantly on the same team. This is the result you're going to get. Paul George is out here talking about, talking shit on the Clippers. They're the B team in LA. He's right. But that's why you were there, because you're a fucking B player. You ain't been no A player since 2018. You haven't been no A player. Now you're down to a C-. You are a C- player right now. Respect to Dequan too, by the way, because he likes Paul George. But before the season started, when we were talking about Philly and Paul George, me and Dequan had a bet over a bottle of Hennessy. To be honest with you, he might as well just give up right now. Because the bet is, I said Paul George will not average 20 points. He said he definitely will. I'm going to get a free Henny bottle in April. For free. That $56 bottle is coming home with me for free. Why? Because he is playing like trash. You're not even averaging 15 points. This is the lowest amount of points that you scored per game since before your most improved player campaign. In that campaign, he averaged 17 and change. Now, not even 15.
Yeah.
Not even 15 points. And you getting paid the big bucks. And like you said, more worried about the podcast. This is why I agree with Draymond Green when he says, players got to chill with starting podcasts, bro. Y'all gotta get your shit sorted, right? And I'll even say, I love roommates, but that applies to them as well because they haven't really done shit yet. So roommates, Paul George, even going into the WNBA, Angel Reese, Trae Young, like y'all need to be more focused. Halliburton now with old man in the three because he's an associate. Duncan Robinson, you guys need to worry about sorting your shit in your career before worrying about these podcasts.
Yeah.
Jeff T wasn't telling all these funny ass stories
while
when he was playing.
Yeah.
He waited till after. And Paul George is more worried about his fucking podcast episodes. He's released more podcast episodes this season than Philly has won games.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke, bro.
I don't doubt it.
More podcast P episodes than wins. This shit is getting ridiculous, bro.
And you know what's sick? Well, you know what's crazy too? Like, after that whole locker room incident, this motherfucker ran and was like, oh yeah, this is a good topic.
You could tell by the thumbnail too.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't edited or nothing. It was just a picture of him from the podcast. Usually they have a whole like type of edit ready for them for the thumbnail.
Like, that's how you know that like his mind isn't even in this shit right now. And I'll defend roommates because like even those motherfuckers, they probably record once a week and it's like that.
They released it later on.
They released it later on. It's pre-recorded. Paul George, I feel like he literally goes out of his way to like this is his shit now. Like he's more passionate about this, which I guess is fine. But like, motherfucker, you are still a professional basketball player, and you talk like you got shit, but you don't. You was talking in the fucking offseason like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on my bully. I'm about to bully. You haven't been that nigga. You've been the nigga getting bullied, and it's time to wipe your fucking shirt off now and get the fuck back up, because it's fucking embarrassing that all the people that the guy that everyone's clowning, Jared McCain, is playing way better than you.
Ridiculous. 20-year-old fucking rookie doing TikTok dances out playing both y'all. MVP and a multiple time All-Star.
It's crazy. Fully healthy, this team, Jared McCain is probably the third best player on this team, which is crazy.
Ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. And he's sitting here like, oh, Podcast P presented by Manscaped. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, go to the fucking gym, bro. And here's another thing, too. This is my favorite Paul George excuse this season. My favorite Paul George moment. Even more than the Clippers are a B team. Even more than we looking for the snitch. When he was playing against the Lakers on a minutes restriction and he was complaining he was getting double teamed, he told JJ, he's like, yo, just let me hoop, bro. Why are you guys doubling me? Are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck?
Are you being serious? You haven't seen that clip?
Nah,
I'm gonna send that shit to you right after this episode. Literally complaining that he's getting double teamed. Bro, it's basketball. It's basketball. And again, this isn't an excuse for the Devin Booker one because that shit was ridiculous. But that shit was just open runs. This is a real NBA game. These guys are trying to win. The West is crowded as fuck. Everyone has the same record nearly, separated by 2 games. Yeah, they're gonna double team me because they want to win the game. And you're out here saying, JJ, just let me hoop, bro. I'm on a minutes restriction. Complaining like, why are you guys doubling me? Just let me hoop. I'm not even gonna play that much tonight. Are you being serious, bro? These guys, him and Embiid are 2 of the most childish players in the league, bro. And I'm still sticking to this shit too, bro, because this is the one that makes me laugh the most, bro. Justin, like I said earlier with the De'Aaron Fox shit, when I'm right about that shit, I'm gonna drag it. I'm gonna drag it till all that shit's gone, bro. Again, apologies to Dequan. I look crazy saying Paul George won't average 20 points, and he's not even at 15.
Yeah.
Paul George is not even close to 20 points per game this season. Like you said, getting outplayed by a 20-year-old rookie. This shit is getting ridiculous, bro. This is the downfall of Paul George, bro. And this is why I'm telling you, bro. People want to say I'm a hater, I'm this, I'm that with Paul George. I'm just realistic. I got realistic before a lot of people. The idea of Paul George is more beautiful than what Paul George really is right now.
Yeah.
That's all it is. There's some players where the idea of it is much better than what the truth really is. And even a couple years ago, I said he's a guy who doesn't have a winning mentality. He's a guy who's a choke artist. He doesn't show up in the playoffs. He victim blames a lot. He has no sense of accountability. But at least back then, people could tell me, oh, but he's averaging 23. He's averaging almost 10 less points since that time. When I called him out 2, 3, 4 fucking years ago for having the same exact mindset. And he brought that shit to Philly. And we're supposed to be scared of Philly. As Knicks fans, as basketball fans, we were supposed to watch out for Philly.
I was never scared of them niggas.
I don't want to say we saw that shit from a mile away, because I'm not going to say all that, but we knew this team wasn't going to be that good. I'm not saying bottom the conference not good, but we're saying like, this isn't like the second best team in the East. This is like the 5th best team.
Yeah, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, I didn't see it this bad. I'm not going to lie and say that we saw this. But we knew they weren't going to be that good like people thought they were.
Yeah, my whole rant in the summertime was more so about playoffs. Like, in my eyes, this team was never a contender, even though they will tell you that. Like, to me, this team, the fate was the same. First round exit, maybe second round exit. But I did not see this. Bottom of the conference. Yeah. This shit I did not see coming, and nobody could predict this shit. But it's like there's no way... There's really no bright spot for them at this point. You literally have to win out. And like I said 2 episodes back or whenever the fuck it was, Joel Embiid really fucked them by saying he's not playing back-to-backs, because look at the hole they fucking dug themselves into. It's going to be tough to climb out with him not playing back-to-backs. Paul George is going to be out for the foreseeable future, and he's probably going to be on minute restriction maybe. You're really relying on Maxey, who dealt with an injury already this year, and Jared McCain. So, and some people are on the fence on what they should do. They have their first round pick this year, which is top 6 protected. If it falls out of the top 6, it goes to OKC. And people are on the fence. Like, do they bottom out and try to get a top 6 pick, or should they win out? My answer is you built this team to be one of the top dogs, so you step the fuck up and you try to compete. for a playoff spot. A fucking rookie draft pick isn't gonna do anything for you at all. Like, even then, out of all the guys in this draft, the only one that could impact right away for this Sixers team is Cooper Flag. And even then, Cooper Flag isn't the answer for all your fucking problems. It's still going to be the same problems.
That's so crazy, bro, that we're already talking about Cooper Flag to Philly because of their incompetency. Not the front office, but the players. And I just want to ask you, too, like, how much like of this fault is on Nick Nurse? A lot of people are already throwing Nick Nurse under the bus. To be honest with you, he hasn't been the greatest. But at the end of the day, bro, there's two big blaring factors that I think are more to blame before we even think about talking about Nick Nurse.
Yeah, he's on the list. He's not.
Yeah, he's on the list.
He's the motherfucker that ran away and we pulled up on the corner like, whoa, there, you're not going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But
he's at fault too.
He's not the main guy. We already arrested Paul George and Joel Embiid, and Nick Nurse was running.
We out looking for him.
Yeah, and we caught him. He was hiding somewhere. But he got some blame in this because, bro, offensively they look garbage, bro. No offensive scheme in the half court. It's literally a lot of 1-on-1. Like, I've seen a lot of times where like there's no sets for McCain at times. It's like when McCain gets that ball,
looking him off too sometimes.
Yeah, they looking him off. When McCain gets that rock, he's literally going to try to score. And, like, rightfully so. He's on fire right now. He got his confidence. But it's like they're not running shit for him. A lot of shit is 1-on-1. Joel Embiid trying to use all the clock, get a foul call. Like, it looks very disgusting right now. Transition defense is garbage. Hoops. It's ugly hoops. And he's part of the blame for that. And, hey, man, he pretty soon he's going to be on watch. He's going to be on watch soon.
My thing is, too, like, I feel the most bad for Maxey. You could say Jared McCain, too, feel bad for him. But, like, that's, like, to a certain extent because, let's be real, because of all this, that's why he's hooping. Like, let's just be real. Like, he's the one shining thing from this whole ordeal. But I really feel bad for Maxey because he's a guy who's coming into his prime right now. He had expectations to win. You and me have said it so many times during the playoff series in the summer, before the season started. We were more scared of him than Embiid.
Yeah.
And I feel like he really is, true to his heart, a real winner, a guy who wants to win, a guy who doesn't have, like, an accountability problem. We haven't heard any, like, controversial thing come out, like, about Tyrese Maxey. And that's why, on some no glacier, I'm, like, really proud that he had, the cojones to call out Embiid to his face in front of the whole locker room. And apparently this isn't even the first time. This is just the time that it got leaked, But he's the guy who usually does, try to, make Embiid take some accountability for when he takes faults and shit like that. So shout out to him. I really do hope that either he goes to a better situation or they clean house and Philly sees him as the guy, because I think you can build around a Maxey. Maybe not for a championship, but you could build around him for like a playoff team. He's that good, bro. He's good enough to do that shit. You could build around a Maxey and McCain and then like a young core, because this shit is not it, bro. Yeah. Pairing together two guys with some of the biggest losing mentalities in the league together, we all knew that shit was never gonna work out. No. And allegedly, shout out Eric Gordon, if this really was him that leaked it, because remember, he was on the Suns when the story came out, like, guys were laughing when Vogel was yelling and shit. So maybe it is truly Eric Gordon. I don't know. But damn, y'all, this shit is sad, bro. I can't lie. This shit is really sad. The way that they've imploded, I've never seen some shit like this before from a winning team.
I'm not sad, man.
No, it looks sad. I'm not sad for them. Like, this is sad, bro. Like, even though we don't like Philly, like, this is tragic, bro. Talking about an MVP, they had everything to be a contending team. And they had a young rising star, Maxey. They have a former MVP, one of the best scorers in the league. Yeah, we don't think Embiid deserves the MVP, neither of us, but at the end of the day, he's still an official MVP. And even those years that he didn't win, he was an MVP candidate, Yeah. So one of the best players in the league. You have a good tertiary option, an idea, like the concept of one, and Paul George, pretty good surrounding pieces, veteran pieces, and it's just failing. It's all falling apart, bro. I've never seen some shit like this before ever in my life watching ball. A team that's supposed to be this good with this high expectations just fall apart like this.
Damn. Out of all the downfalls I've preyed on, This might be one of the sweetest.
This is honestly this goes in the Hall of Fame of hate watches, honestly.
It's probably this and the Jets. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The most fun downfalls.
Jeez. This and the Jets is crazy, bro. I mean, their downfall, I guess you could compare it to them. As a football counterpart. But that's why I haven't seen this shit.
Because I was one of the only people prior to the season that wasn't drinking the Jets Kool-Aid.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought when they got Devontae, they would have gotten some of their act together.
Nah, I was not drinking the Kool-Aid, bro, at all. I was like, this team is gonna be garbage. I'm praying on their fucking like, you know, this real, like, whenever they were like winning in games, like I felt something in my body, like I felt shame and
like he was about to throw up.
Not throw up, but like I felt embarrassment. Like, I guess because I feel like there's a lot more Jets fans than Giants fans. Well, I've encountered on a day-to-day.
I mean, probably because of your workplace, but bro, Giants have a bigger fan base than the Jets.
No, they do, but I feel like on my day-to-day, I interact with way more Jets fans than Giants fans. Yeah. But every time they take a lead or something, or they have a great drive, there's something in my body that's like, I get embarrassed, like, fuck. Or I get kind of like hot, like I'm angry now. But when they lose, man, I feel great. When they lose, I feel so great.
That's how I'm
not there with Philly. But shit.
Oh, I'm there with Philly.
I mean, the one thing with Philly is like McCain is like the one guy where it's like, fuck, man, that's my guy. Like,
but he's a rookie. It's not like he's 28 and they're wasting like a prime year. Like, he's a rookie, and you also have to be happy that he probably wouldn't have gotten this opportunity if it wasn't for all this shit.
Oh no, I'm not saying they're wasting his time.
Like, you don't feel bad for him.
But I'm just like,
saying, yeah.
If he plays well and they lose, it's like a win-win for me. Like yesterday, I was getting so hyped when he was cooking, but then I'm like, fuck, I don't want them to win though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, I want Ben Simmons to lose, but I want Philly to lose too. That's why I wish.
You saw that Ben Simmons late?
Yeah.
And that's
yeah. That, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we could have made that shit because he was wide open. That's how open he was. That shit is embarrassing. That's a hate watch that I kind of want to put it down, bro. It's like picking on someone for so long. I mean,
Ben Simmons?
Yeah. I was going to add some really fucked up shit. I'm going to leave it alone. But it's gotten to a point where, like, it's not even enjoyable watching him play bad anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not enjoyable for me anymore. And I might have to kick him off the hate watch list. It's just going to have to be Clay. It's just going to have to be Clay, Paul George, Tyrese, and Tatum, and Halliburton.
Yeah.
The big four. The absolute big four, bro. Absolutely ridiculous, man. This is something that we've never seen before in basketball.
I'd have to come up with my hate watch list for players.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do it.
Mine is definitely Embiid. Embiid is tough because that motherfucker, like, he'll have 35 and I guess I'll say Philly because it's hard. Embiid doesn't have bad games like all that often. It feels like but when he does, like, I'll be the first.
He had his first game without free throws in years.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I'll be first in line when he does have a bad game. Halliburton is definitely on that list.
Halliburton's on that list.
Definitely on that list.
100% on that list. And I'm gonna just say this because you talked about the Jets. This might have to be a debate, but I think I'm enjoying this Philly hate watch more than you're enjoying the Jets one because Embiid is there, Paul George is there, and then you're combining this all with the fact that they play for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I am drunk off of this hate watch, bro. That's how good it's been so far.
Yeah.
And it's all because of Paul George, bro. Paul George comes in, the team turns to shit. And I'm proud of Tobias Harris because he got away from that situation. People aren't really hating on him no more, and that's it. It's over. He's just doing his own thing in Detroit. I'm not saying he's hooping. He's playing okay. He's averaging like 14, 15, doing Tobias Harris shit, but with less of a spotlight on him. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.